Hello, riders and not. That's me, riding 2022 Java Perak in Lithuania, my home country. You can't see my excitement, but I am grinning ear to ear in my lid because behind me is my dad, and this is the first time ever we're riding together. In fact, this is the first time my dad is on the motorcycle after over 30 years not riding. Since I started riding 6 years ago, it was my dream to ride with my dad. He is one of the people that I consider luckiest on this planet. He grew up on bikes. He was riding since he could kickstart. Actually, he couldn't even kickstart himself. He was telling a story how his friends used to kickstart the bike because he couldn't reach it. Or a story when once he was taking a girl to disco back roads because it was illegal for him to ride on the road. He said it was a 2-seat Russian Age he borrowed from a friend, and it was a very bumpy ride as much as he remembers. When he arrived, he realized the girl wasn't in the back seat. When I started riding and went completely bonkers about it, my mom said, "I'm just like my dad." However, my father stopped riding when he's got a car and never got on the bike again. Because when he was riding Java. My dream was to ride Javas with him. Of course, new 2022 models are completely different from a 2-stroke 1979 Java 634 he had. But still, I hope that it will be less intimidating for him to get on the modern bike if it will be a brand that he knew the most. My dad came back with a huge grin. He was also nervous. He would never admit that, but when he came back, he was not just grinning, he was also moaning about the sunset blinding him and something like, I don't remember it being difficult. However, I think the bike choice was absolutely perfect because it wasn't just the brand he used to, but also as simple as the modern classic motorcycle can be. Also with no intimidating power, with no big size, so everything just easy, comfortable, simple to ride. The bike like this, so forgiving. Even if you'll make a mistake, it's not that much bad can happen. Of course, it is a different story if you go into a heavy traffic, but my dad is a driver as well, not just a rider. He wasn't completely off-road, just wasn't riding a motorcycle. If you would like me to expand this topic about coming back to riding, because my dad is not the first and I believe not the last person on this planet who stopped riding bikes for a long time and now gets back to biking, let me know and I will do an episode just about that. We decided to ride to one of the most popular places to visit in Lithuania. The weather for it was absolutely perfect, and the road here was straight at the beginning to warm up for my dad, and then some smooth, twisty road through the woods. Me and my dad today riding Java from Java Motorcycles Lithuania. Thank you so much for lending me 2 bikes so I can ride with my dad. This one is Classic Java, based on 360 Classic Java model, and this one is Java Perak. Coming here, my dad was riding the Classic one and I was riding Perak, and we're changing on the way back. We made to Anykščiai. And here you have, like, above the trees, there is a path that we will go in a minute. And also the biggest stone in Lithuania. There is the legend that the devil was taking that stone to demolish Anykščiai church, but then he heard the rooster singing and dropped the stone over here in the forest near Anykščiai. That is a stone of Puntukas. Biggest stone in this country. I grew up thinking this is the biggest stone in the world, but then I went to Norway and it changed my mind. Only 200 meters away, there is Medžių Lajų takas. I have no idea how to translate that, but there is a path above the trees.
When you talk or listen close, there's just something about your voice. I think that every word you say to me is like poetry. I just want you for my own. It's really easy to tell that you're the best girl I've ever known. I'm not gonna waste this. But what you wanna do now? Should we head back to my place? When you give me that smile, I think my heart's turning up the pace. I don't care about what we do if I get to be with you. But what you wanna do now? What's to be afraid of when we're young, stupid, and in love? Fix your eyes on me. I can't help myself, fall in love, I go crazy. What you wanna do now? Should we head back to my place? When you give me that smile, I think my heart's turning up the pace. I don't care about what we do if I get to be with you. What you wanna do now? What's to be afraid of when we're young, stupid, and in love?
The treetop walking path slowly rises from the ground to a height of 21 meters. It curves 300 meters through treetops and leads to a 35 meters high tower. It took 395 tons of metal and 1.5 thousand cubic meters of concrete to build such a unique construction. On the top of the watchtower, it opens up an absolutely breathtaking views of one of the most famous pine woods in Lithuania, also as the river Šventoji. On the way back, me and my dad swapped the bikes. I was really excited about that for him because I liked Parag more. First of all, because of a badass bobber look, which I think suited my dad very well. Also, it had a little bit more of torque, a little bit more of power, not intimidating at all, just a slight bit better than the classic Java 300. Also because of that, I found it more fun to ride, and the Perak model I found more forgiving in the low rev range, whereas Java 300 was very easy to stalk. This place was built in 1830s. The road it's on used to be the main road from St. Petersburg to Warsaw, and it used to be an old post office, as well as the place to stop and rest, feed the horses, and fix the broken vehicles. Now it is completely restored and so beautiful. I really hope so that next time I'll come back to Lithuania, I could stop for a cup of coffee over here. And today it was time to go home, before we got kicked out. Did we enjoy the trip? I certainly did. My dream came true and I finally rode with my dad. Furthermore, I rode the motorcycles I wanted to ride, so everything for me was absolutely perfect. As for my dad, he's not the most talkative person, and I don't think he will ever admit, but I could see him happy. This is one thing we did, just me and my dad, in like forever. Thanks for watching, guys. Call your dad today and tell him that you love him. I'll see you on the next one.